Welcome to SAT TV's news. I'm Shanna Esprit, your presenter. In our top stories, Speaker of the House withdraws as presidential nominee. High Time CARICOM discusses legalizing marijuana, says Gonzalez. Syria crisis. Barack Obama calls off Congress vote. And in sports, WICB announces Windies under-19 squad to face Bangladesh. Details of this will follow.
Yeah. I know that things are tough, but we will make it out. Dominica, we all gonna make it one day. The pressures of the system make us lose around. Oh yeah, we all gonna make it one day. Yeah, listen now, there's something that I wanna say to you. You get me so angry. Yeah man, this is Emma Moses, and you're watching SAT News, the People's Choice, yeah? Make it bless, make it bless, make it bless. Love.
Welcome back. The consistency in playing the Big Four of the Dominica National Lottery has landed Archibald Samuel a comfortable sum. The jackpot winner was handed his $100,000 check at the lottery's office on Tuesday, September 10th. He played $20 worth of the same number 2097 and has been using this number from the inception of the game in March this year.
To be honest, I don't use the word excited because I've been trained to control my emotions, but I should say that I'm happy that I won $100,000. I've been playing Big Four from its inception from March, and I almost play every day, and I always kept telling my friends, one of those days I'm going to win some big money because I don't play small. And I want to encourage you all, if you're playing, play meaningful, spend some money. If you're going to go win, you're going to win. There's no fixing it. There's nothing about fixing it. It's just play and your luck. It's a game of luck and chance, and your luck will come someday.
The ticket was bought at Cariport Trading in Roseau. Mr. Samuel said most of the winnings came from this organization.
Actually, the number that I played, I've been playing it for the March to now. I never stopped playing.
Could you tell us where your opinions will be put into what use of
Well, that will go into my future expenses. I mean, I'm a retired man now. I'm not working anymore, so it will come in handy for my retirement. And, I'll travel, maybe go see my parents in the States and do some traveling, do some fishing too.
The winner of the $10,400, Angelina Fontaine, said she is very excited to be a winner.
I started playing the Big Four from the time it started, but not as big as my friend over here. I've been playing $5, $1, $2, But last week, surprisingly, I played that number on 2 different occasions at $5, and I never won. So Saturday, Achenda, you were at Cariport Trading, and he said, let me play 2097. I said, that's my number. He said, but I've been playing it for $100. I said, what? So then he's telling me, play it. So I said, okay, let me play it. Although I had bought tickets already, but I still went ahead and I bought it at $2. So I'm very happy that I've won.
Ms. Fontaine spent $4 on the winning number. This is the first time since its inception that Big Four has had winners of this scale in both St. Lucia and Dominica. In other news, a week-long of activities has been carried for the people of the Kalinago territory as they celebrate Kalinago Week 2013. A well-developed program has been organized to highlight cultural activities and awardees who have contributed to the Kalinago's development. Kalinago Week will commence on the 15th to the 22nd of September under the theme Celebrating the Lives of the Kalinago People. Carib Chief Mr. Garnett Joseph said the activities will commemorate by a church service on the 15th of September at the Maho River. The government of Dominica has contributed greatly to making this event a success.
Every year, it is the custom and the habit, the norm, for us to celebrate or commemorate the lives of the Kalinago people. And we see with this year, we have celebrating the lives of the Kalinago people. I think we're missing a word here. We need to commemorate the lives of our ancestors. So the theme is right. There's a proper theme to have been chosen for this year's celebration. And as you realize, we say in celebration, many times we are being misquoted when we have these activities, because there are those who think that we were trying to rake up old quarrels. The whole idea is not to rake up anything or any old quarrel. The important thing is for us to be able to reflect on our history and to chart a course for the future.
Two activities were highlighted at the press conference, urging members of cabinet to attend due to its importance.
The live monument at Pokase, we should see as many ministers of government and other parliamentarians present at this activity. Also the award ceremony, which would be expected to be providing some of our deserving Kalinagos plaques and maybe prizes and so on, is one of the activities that Cabinet has indicated that it will give full support and will be participating in.
Other activities include a Stars Talent Show on September 15th, Cocktail Awards on September 19th, and a sporting activity on September 22nd, among others. The objective in celebrating the lives of the Kainago people is to create a sense of identity and pride, and to also create awareness on the contribution that they have made over the years. In other news, although it may not be necessary, Mayor of Roseau, His Worship Cecil Joseph, says that he is willing to contest for the Roseau North constituency in the next general elections. However, he made it very clear that he will do so if the current parliamentary representative for constituency, Honorable Julius Timothy, who recently suffered a stroke, is not in good health at the time of the elections, which is constitutionally due in 2005. If the Constituency Association makes a request of me to represent the Dominica Labour Party at the next general election, I will accept, because it is a party that stands for the development of the people and understand their cries, stated Mr. Joseph.
I must say that the incumbent has shown all the necessary interest to run for the next general election, but as we know, certain things may happen, and if that by any chance, in terms of ill health, is to reoccur to Mr. Timothy again, the possibility that if the Constituency Association President, I will.
Mr. Joseph was asked if he thinks he will receive the support from his constituents if the need arises. He revealed that when he contested the Roseau North seat for the Dominica Labour Party in the 2005 general elections against Mr. Timothy, who was a member of the United Workers' Party, he lost by 469 votes. He said although a defeat, it was a promising sign when compared to the margin of defeat by previous candidates who ran against Mr. Timothy. The mayor noted if selected for the position and the need arises, he will certainly continue where Mr. Timothy has left off.
But we know that Mr. Timothy has done quite a lot in terms of housing. I know that in the Roseau North constituency there are a number of placements, in the sense that it's a diverse constituency where you have the very rich and also sometimes the very poor. I will make sure that I work among the very poor, those who are less fortunate in the area, again continuing from Mr. Timothy left off, in the area of housing, for sure. I will also work in the area of sports, because in the Roseau North constituency, fortunately for us, that we have quite a number of young people who are involved in sports, basketball, football, cricket. So for sure, I will let myself involved in the area of sports. I'm not going to state concretely where, but I know for a fact that I will.
Mr. Joseph promised to also work in the important area of education that will go hand in hand with his history of working with various institutions and scholarship programs he previously implemented with the Roseau City Council, namely Monroe College.
Also too, I see the importance of working in the area of technology. We have seen vastly that young people are involved, quite a large amount of young people are now involved in the present day-to-day growing technology, and I'll make it my duty to see how best we can set up something that is concrete for the development of young people. I know that these are some of the things that Mr. Timothy himself has in the works in terms of creating networking for young people in the area of technology. So I for sure will do my best in ensuring that those things are met. And also, too, which is most important, work closely with the government of Dominica and work closely with the people who give me the representation in all aspects that in which they will require me to do.
He added those who may dispute his intention of running for the Roseau North constituency can simply take a close look at his record, as no other mayor in the history of Dominica has accomplished as much as him. In more stories, some say it was because of pressure from members of the opposition United Workers' Party, while others say this was just another one of Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit's strategy. However, whatever the real reason, Speaker of the House of Parliament Alex Boyd Knights has withdrawn herself as a nominee to hold the prestigious office of President of Dominica. This was made public on Wednesday, September 11th by Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, the man who nominated Mrs. Knights to be president.
I have been in touch with Mrs. Knight for the last couple of days. As a matter of fact, 2 days ago, she indicated to me her intention to withdraw her nomination for the office. And that was downplayed. And of course, yesterday again, she called me and insisted that she wanted to step down and decline her nomination. Citing a number of reasons. Of course, she has since written to me on the matter, citing a number of reasons, one of which being her concern about the safety of her family because of the inflammatory statements and comments that have been made by elements within the opposition party here in Dominica.
Mr. Skerrit noted Mrs. Knight's intention has always been to serve the people of Dominica, as she has done exceptionally well as Speaker of the House for the last 14 years. He said he remains firm in his view that Mrs. Knights was the ideal candidate for President of Dominica, as she is more qualified than many who would fill the post.
Somebody who championed the rights of women for several decades, who have recognized the importance of advancing academically and professionally, and who is a very bold articulator of issues, some of which sometimes are not consistent with the views of a few.
He noted Mrs. Knight is well respected regionally and internationally in her position as head of the Women's Commonwealth Parliament Association, as the reviews of her are exceptional. The Prime Minister explained although she would have been the ideal candidate, he cannot force her or anyone to the presidency, as it is a matter of the person accepting.
She accepted initially, and in listening to the very inflammatory comments that have been made, a concern for the safety of our children in particular, she has indicated her decision to decline the nomination of the government. In that regard, the government had to consider other individuals who we believe would be worthy to hold the office of president. And we have put forward the name of the former permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Jennifer Wallace Lafont, a lady who I worked with when I was Minister for Education. She was a senior education officer at the time, and I thought she provided tremendous leadership to the Ministry of Education, and I appointed her when I became Prime Minister as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education. And I've always been satisfied with her performance there as PS of Education, and her ability to always put the interests of the students and the interests of the system ahead of any other interests.
We believe Mrs. Lafont will serve the people of Dominica exceptionally well in this new position, as she has accepted the nomination by the government of Dominica, Mr. Skerrit explained. At the second meeting of the 4th session of the 8th Parliament, scheduled for Thursday, September 12th at 10 a.m. at the House of Assembly, the government will announce the vacancy of the presidency. The government is also expected to announce that there is no agreement between themselves and the opposition for the government's candidate.
After this, you have 14 days within which nominations can be put forward, of course, following the provisions of the Constitution. So this is what will happen tomorrow. It's a simple announcement that's going to last for more than 20 minutes.
Mr. Skerritt said this country needs strong leadership, and when a prime minister makes a decision, he has to stand by it, even those within the party he leads do not agree. In more stories, a certificate ceremony was held at the University of the West Indies Open Campus on Tuesday, September 10th, to award individuals who participated in the UWI summer program. The summer courses included Human Resource Management, which was broken into two groups. Group 1 was taught by Mrs. Bertilia McKenzie, and Group 2 was by Mrs. K. Robinson. Sales and Marketing Management was also split into two groups. The tutors were Ms. Cheyenne Monell and Mrs. Marvin James. Other courses included Taxation with Accounting and Bookkeeping, Public Relations, Management of Minor Injuries, and Emergencies and Sign Language. Head of Dominica's UWI Open Campus, Dr. Francis Sevre, said the courses taken by the participants will allow them to add value to their communities and humanity.
Our principal, Professor Hazel Simmons MacDonald, who sends her greetings to you this afternoon, and on which behalf I partly speak, she said concerning summer offerings, and I quote, "Not offering classes in summer was not an option. It is expected that sites will always have a good program and slate of courses for the summer session to capitalize on individuals who are not attending formal classes and want to make up or take some extra courses."
He added that this year the summer program was extremely successful as 180 students registered.
Last year our site began modestly, and this year it went full speed with its summer program. We had, I understood, a registration of 180 students. Our foci here in Dominica, and indeed the Open Campus country sites, are or will continue to be new face-to-face courses for local companies, workforce training programs, short professional development courses, cultural development programs, and indeed it is well known that this is the home of the Literary Festival and Book Fair, and will continue to be the home. I cannot think of any better environment and ambience than the Open Campus. In-house training also will be part of our remit, and workshops. And in so doing, of course, we recognize the need to continuously be student-centered, accessible, agile, enabling, responsive, and indeed innovative.
Mr. Felix Wilson, Program Officer at the UWI Open Campus, was surprised at the amount of persons who participated in the program. He said they tried to facilitate the course at a reasonable price of $150 to suit the participants.
But will it be $150 next year? I will just say it in local parlance, bagay ka mute. Because some persons who benefited from this program actually said, "Why didn't you all charge $200? I'm serious. I won't reveal anybody's name, but some said it was so useful that we should have charged $200. And the response we gave to that is the economy of scales. If you put it $200, then probably fewer people will come, especially in times like this. But I figure by next year, the economy will get better.
The outlines for the program were produced by UWI's Sisters Campus in Trinidad. In previous years, they assisted with early childhood education and care program held at the campus for both administrators and the teachers.
Ambrose. So I'll come on this side, Anne. Just past here. Okay. Esidita, is she here? Yes. No. Elmina Benjamin. Frida Blaise. Kimora Bruni. Gail Didier. Harmony Emmanuel. Magali George. Joella Henderson, Annette.
The administrators of the UWI Open Campus applauds everyone who participated in the course, and it is hoped that there will be a larger turnout next year. In more news, the bands and final lineup are set for the World Creole Music Festival. This was announced at the second World Creole Music Festival press conference at the Dominica Financial Center on Wednesday, 11, 2013. Chairman of Dominica Festivals Committee and Discover Dominica Authority, Mr. Colin Piper, announced that a venue has been confirmed and will be taken possession of on October 11th, once it is confirmed by the Ministry of Sports, Education and Culture. They are also currently in the process of finalizing the selection for the sound supplier and stage and lights.
And will be providing their input in terms of how we should move forward. So if not later this week, certainly by next week's press conference, we'll be in a position to announce that. In terms of the band lineup, certainly I would say we're about 90%, 95% there, having secured obviously the services of some of the bands that you are aware of.
Mr. Piper stated that financially, they are in a position to safely say that the bands are secured and there is no issue. The outstanding bands are just a matter of executing on the contracts without anticipating any issues, he noted. A number of sponsors have come on board, and in the next few weeks they are to be highlighted individually. Mr. Piper says this festival would not have been possible without the collaboration and participation of a number of commercial entities in Dominica, including the government and the patrons. Mr. Fitzroy Williams, a musician and well-known performer at the World Creole Music Festival, said he and his colleagues are already at work and should portray something exciting to the audience.
I think you will be quite satisfied and with what I really want to portray, my life, because I'm a professional musician since 1969. You see all my hair gray and so on. And I've been doing it up to this day. And I can praise the Lord for giving me that health and strength, talent and everything to carry on.
Head of Marketing at Discover Dominica Authority, Mrs. Nikima Ray John Baptist, informed us that they have reached the target set and they are moving forward quite swiftly. She urged the public to advertise WCMF in every way possible, including social networks.
And you could follow us on Twitter at Dom Creole Fest. You could watch us on YouTube at Dominica's Creole Fest. You can watch us and talk about us on Facebook at Dominica Creole Music Fest. And of course, you could check us online at www.WCMF Dominica. So it's important because when we talk about the World Creole Music Festival, other people talk about the World Creole Music Festival. So if there's only 10 of us, 100 of us, 1,000 of us talking here, we could reach another 1,000 persons individually, and then that's like 100,000 people talking about it, or my math is bad, he's the computer mind. But it multiplies.
The WCMF is currently being advertised on radio stations in over 5 Caribbean countries thus far. Media partners include Kyrie FM Radio, Marpin 2K4, DBS Radio, and Dominica News Online. The target is to attract 90,000 visitors by 2015. In other news, Honorable Ashton Grano, the current member of the Parliament for the Kainago Territory and Minister of Caribbean Affairs, was put in the spotlight when he was asked spontaneously whether or not he will be contesting the next general elections constitutionally due in 2015. Mr. Grano, who replaced his brother Kelly Grano at the 2009 general elections, said at the press conference on September 11th that he is seriously considering not seeking re-election. However, Mr. Grano said a lot has been done within the Kainago territory since his term in office.
Some of the projects that we had ongoing that we needed to complete were done during my time. And there's a few new things, yes, that we have been able to do, and those I would be able to sell out. Also, some of the things that we're working with the council on, he mentioned the KDC, the Kalinago Development Corporation. We're working hand in hand with the council on this. That is the learning institution that we're talking about.
A number of small community-based projects were also achieved during his term in office. It was not mentioned who Mr. Grano's successor will be in the event that he does not contest elections. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.
Support Calypso. Come on, take a chance. Beat me. Try your luck. Get registered. I am registered. To beat me, you have to beat the best. King Calypso competition. Remember the deadline, August 31st. Register today with NCCU. Uteka jwe sakaboi to levad wedding. Café beba tout moun le ou muteka libishi. SAT Telecoms, the people's choice, and SATnet is the better choice. Together with NCCU, one big family.
Have you ever wanted to order on the internet but don't own a credit card, or you're just fed up of the high prices of items locally? Well, the solution is Kemet's Online Services. Kemet's Online Services order a wide variety of items and get your items in as quick as 5 to 10 days. For placing orders or for more information, call 614-9550. The sky's the limit with Kemet's Online Services.